Hello, you're welcome to today's lesson. My name is Harrison, and today I am taking off with quadratic equations, and I'm starting with completing the square method. I have a question on the board to start with. In each of the following, in each of the expressions below, determine what must be added to make it a perfect square. That means we are going to determine what will be added to this to make it a perfect square, this to make it a perfect square, and this also. In other words, we have about 3 questions to answer. So, we know that a perfect square, ordinarily a perfect square is a whole number whose square root is also a whole number. For instance, if we are to mention, we have 4, 9, 16, 25, 36. These numbers are perfect squares. That is, the square root of each of them is a whole number. For instance, square root of 4 is 2, square root of 9 is 3, and so on. So, but when we have an expression like this, we are going to consider, or we are going to use a different method to solve it. So let's start. We have solution A. We have a squared plus 5a. We are looking for something that will be added to it to make it a perfect square. So let a squared plus 5a plus p, for instance, equal to a plus q squared. Because if this is a perfect square, we should be able to express it in this form. So if we expand this, the right hand side, and that means we are talking of a plus q. Sorry, this is negative place, not plus. Okay. Okay, so this also should be negative. Yes. But this is a term that will be added, so we have added this. Okay. So in this case, we now have bracket a minus q. That is, this squared means this. So let's expand and see how what we will arrive at. That will be a bracket a minus q bracket a minus q. So you work it out, and that will give us a squared minus aq plus q squared. And that will give us a squared minus 2aq, that is this and this, plus q squared. Now, if you check this and this, they are similar. They are similar. So let us now compare coefficients. Comparing coefficient of A, or parent coefficient of A, we have minus 5 should be equal to minus 2q. That is, you compare this with this and this, because that's the coefficient of A. So we say that minus 5, sorry, not 5A, we are talking of coefficient of A here is minus 5. So minus 5 should be equal to minus 2Q. The coefficient of A here is minus 5. Coefficient of A here is 2Q. And that means that we can easily find Q from here. Q should be equal to minus 5 over minus 2. You divide, that is 5 over 2. And from this, you can see that our Q squared should be equal to bracket 5 over 2 squared. And if you expand it, that will give us 25 over 4. So, from what we have, it means that we are saying that we are going to add 25 over 4 to this expression to make it a perfect square, which means we are going to have something like this: a squared minus 5a plus 5 over 2 squared. So from here and from the explanation, we can say that therefore 25 over 4 must be added to the expression. Okay, it's not, let me write it well. So from here, I think I'll come up. Okay, I'll stop there. So from there, I'll come up here. And then we say that a squared plus a squared minus 5a plus p. And in other words, we are now saying that the value of p is 25 over 4 is equal to a minus q all squared. And that means that we are saying that a squared minus 5a plus 25 over 4 is equal to a minus 5 over 2 all squared. Therefore, 25 over 4 must be added to the expression. Must be added to the expression. To make it a perfect square. So we have seen how we solved it, and then we have finally come to the end of the first number. Then, but there is another shorter method apart from following this long method. And the shorter method is that since you can write since you have a minus 5a We are looking for something to add to make it a perfect square. The shorter method is that since the coefficient of this is 1, just go ahead, divide the coefficient of A by 2 and square it. And the answer is what you are going to add to this to make it a perfect square. That means we are talking of A minus 5A plus 5 over 2 squared. And that will still give us A minus 5A plus 25 over 4. So we have added this 25 over 4 to this to make it a perfect square. And if you have to square it, this will be, if you have to factorize, it will be A minus 5 over 2 all squared. So this is square, this is square, this is square. So it's either you use this method or this method. Whichever you prefer, you will still get to the answer. So what we have added is 25 over 4 to make this expression a perfect square. So we'll go over to question number B. And then B, in B we have B squared plus 10B. We are looking for something to add to make it a perfect square. So we can continue by saying that let B squared plus 10B plus C, for instance, equal to B plus B plus D squared, all squared. Remember that when you factorize, whatever is this sign here will be the sign in between. So if we go ahead and expand, we have B plus D. I'm trying to expand this into B plus D, which will give me B times B is B squared, B times D plus BD, D times B plus BD, then D times D plus D squared. So from there, we move on to this side. And if we move on to that side, we are going to have B squared plus BD. Sorry, B squared plus 2BD. That is BD plus BD is 2BD. Then plus D squared. Now we use our normal method we use in the first one. You compare coefficients of B, and then because if you look at this and this, they are similar. So we'll consider the coefficient of B. The coefficient of B here is 10. Coefficient of B, so we have 10 equal to, the coefficient of B here is 2D. That's the value with the letter B. So we move on. And then from here, you can see that we can easily find the value of D. Therefore, 2D is 10, D equal to 10 over 2. You divide and that will give us 5. So if that should give us 5, If that should give us 5, then we have seen that the value of D is 5. And then that means that if you compare, you discover that this C corresponds to D squared. And that means that we are now talking of B squared plus 10B plus C, which we can see that it is the same thing as B squared plus 10D plus D squared, which is so plus D squared. And remember, C is equal to D squared. So we are now saying that B squared plus 10B plus D squared, which is equal to 5 squared, should be written as B plus 5 all squared. If you expand this, you are coming back here. And that is B squared plus 10B plus 25. So we have added 25. Therefore, 25 must be added to the expression to make it a perfect square. Again, we can also use the second method, which I said you can use, and that one is very short. Because if I want to use that one, I'll just go ahead and divide this by 2 and add. Because 10 divided by 2 is 5. 5 times 5 is 25. So, as I said earlier, you use any method you prefer, and you still get the answer. So the second one, we have seen the answer, and then we move ahead to the final question. So the final one, we have 25x squared plus 7x. Now, remember, we can express this as 5x raised to the power 2, then plus 7x. Now, let this plus k equal to 5x, because this 5x now is standing as our a. 5x plus y. So now if we expand, we are going to have 5x plus y, 5x plus y equal to this, and this is 25x squared. This and this is 5xy plus 5xy. Then finally plus y squared. Okay. Then coming up, we have 25x squared plus 10xy. That is this plus this. Okay, sorry, it's cut off already. Let me go up. Okay. From here, I have to come up here. To expand this, that is 5x plus y, 5x plus y. And then if you expand it to be 25x squared, that's this time this, plus 5xy, y squared. That is this time this time this is this. We are through with that. We are now picking y. Y times this is this. Y times y is y squared. So that will give us 25x squared plus 10xy plus y squared. Again, if you compare with the original question, let us now talk of the coefficient of x. Coefficient of x, that's we are comparing, and that means we have 7 is equal to 10y. 7 is equal to 10y, and that means that y is equal to 7 over 10. So that y squared, which is equal to what we now have here as our k, is equal to 7 over 10 squared. So it then means that, going back, we are talking of 25x squared plus 7x plus 7 over 10 squared. And that will give us 25x squared plus 7x plus 49 all over 100. And if you want to factorize it, that's supposed to be 5x plus 7 over 10 squared. 7 over 10 squared. So we can conclude by saying that 49 over 100 must be added to the expression. Must be added to the expression. So that is that, and we have come to the end of the questions we have. Please, if you have any question, you put it in the comment section, and I would like you to please like, share, comment, and subscribe. If there's anything, I would like to see it in my next video. We will continue in the next video. Thank you.